Okay, Greg.
Yeah.
You had a big scoop this week.
Mitch did, yeah.
Amy Hennig leaving Naughty Dog.
Right? After she just celebrated 10 years there. Writer, creative director on most of the Uncharted, on all of the Uncharted's varying roles there between writer and creative director.
Now, confession.
Yeah.
I had never heard of this person before.
That's fine. You don't follow games. I understand.
But so, like, tell us why is this a big deal?
I mean, she was like the creative force behind Uncharted.
Okay.
When you think of like the Uncharted stories and stuff, don't get me wrong, teams, dozens of people giving input, but she's like the one they always pointed to, like, this is her job, is to make the Uncharted stories.
Yeah.
And since people are drawn to Uncharted, usually for the characters, for the stories, that's all of a sudden the crazy thing that on the, not eve of Uncharted PS4.
Well, so I wonder if she finished her work
Yeah.
on Uncharted PS4. Like, did she just write the story and then...
Yeah,
Or is she not the one doing it?
No, she was working on it from what we understand, and that's why Sony put out this statement saying that, yep, she's left, this won't influence the development timeline of the new Uncharted.
It feels weird that their press release statement for Jack Tretton and then what they had for Amy Hennig in the same week was just sort of like, I mean, in our story, it was like she was forced out. I mean, Jack Tretton was not forced out.
No.
Right.
Well, and we also don't know, you know, we have our sources that tell us things, and then sometimes you hear contradictory things from different people, but that's our understanding of it, is that there was some office politicking going on.
Yeah, the story we put up is that she left, and then that allegedly Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley, who are the guys behind The Last of Us, had some hand in quote-unquote forcing her out, and that's from multiple sources for Mitch's article. For me personally, someone who, again, has covered PlayStation forever, knows all of these people, that sounds crazy. Neil and Bruce are awesome dudes, like awesome developer people to talk to about the industry, about what they do. They love what they do. Now, in that same breath, so is Amy. Like, don't get me wrong, I hate Justin. We work together fine, though.
It doesn't show on camera.
But, I mean, like, it's one of those things, obviously, if there's always conflict at any job. But, like, you know what I mean? If me and Damon are mad at each other, hopefully that doesn't come through on the camera, so you can't be like, oh, yeah, well, Game Scoop. They seem so close in Game Scoop. You know?
So hate each other for years.
I mean, it's hard to know. Like, maybe it's something, again, this is speculation on my part, but maybe it's something like, hey, we think Uncharted 4 is going in a really bad direction.
Yeah.
Let's talk to the bosses. And then it becomes this weird conflict.
And then then it snowballs what the actual, you know what I mean? It's not like they're like literally Neil Druckmann is like stroking his beard and Straley's growing a new beard to stroke, and they're sitting there going like, we gotta eliminate Amy, you know what I mean? But maybe it was that they went in and were like, we don't like this, that, and the other, and they're like, you're right, and then
or maybe like sources are all wrong.
Exactly. That's the other thing too. How many people are the sources who are saying this but weren't in that room? Like this is where it gets really complicated and really shitty, because there's no else to put it, right? Is the fact that the sources who said all this aren't these people necessarily. I don't know, right, who all our sources are, which is how we need it to be. But then the people who are directly influenced, how do they make a statement about that without violating the Amy's right to privacy and Naughty Dog's confidentiality? Like, there's so many things tied up now that it sucks to say, but like, will we ever know really what happened here? I don't know. No. I don't think you will, and that's really shitty.
I mean, I do. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but you think that most of the, like, her contributions and groundwork to Uncharted 4 are complete?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't say that. I don't know.
Because to me, it seemed...
I would have guessed. I mean, a creative director's work wouldn't have been done at this point.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think it would have.
By saying that, right, you're saying then that everything is in the can. Like
story-wise.
Exactly. And performance-wise, right? Like, there's video of her, like it's like fucking handicap shit. She's on set, like, just like Neil was with Last of Us, walking Ashley and Troy through it. There's video from Uncharted 3 and 2 and 1 of her doing the same thing with Emily Rose, with Nolan North, and whoever you imagine is in that game, she's still doing that.
Yeah, because that's a big part of it, is basically seeing that vision through all the way to the end.
Right,
well.
yeah. You're creative director, being a director at Naughty Dog is, I don't understand all of the industry, don't get me wrong. It's different, though, for being a director on some other game. You are literally directing actors. They're in full-body mocap suits. They're doing that whole thing where they play around with each other in the unitards and try to figure out. Well,
you're the one, like, there's other writers and other people, but like, you're the one that has the vision in your head.
Right.
Like, it's your project, and to lose that, I mean, in my opinion, look, I'm super excited about Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
I do think this is bad news.
Yeah, I mean, what's weird is that we've lost the creative director, but we're still on the same development timeline.
Right.
That's weird to me. But now, granted, they've said, here's Uncharted PS4 is coming. here's a teaser trailer with no gameplay and one voice.
It's a little bit of
so,
a meaningless statement because we don't know what the development timeline was.
It's going to come out in 2020, and they're going to be like, oh, that's what we had all from day one. That's what we planned.
I'm not saying that the game is in trouble or it's shaky or it's going to be delayed. I'm just saying the talent of Amy. Like if you go back, she did Legacy of Kain, all of those games before this.
That's really old school.
Yeah.
But that's what she did. She did the first Blood Omen and then the other Legacy of Kain games, and those were incredibly written. Like the stories in those games were memorable and just fantastic. Like some of the best video game stories ever. And then she came to she came to Naughty Dog, and you can see the mark that she left on Naughty Dog. So I do think that this is a blow to lose her from the studio, but that doesn't necessarily mean like, look, there's all kinds of people that aren't Amy Hennig writing incredible games. Right. So I'm not down on Uncharted 4, but if you look at like her career, like she makes a real impact on the project that she is a part of.
Yeah,
it definitely makes the first PS4 Uncharted feel like a new era for the franchise, right?
And that's the interesting thing. Like in our story, we talk about the fact that that allegedly Neil and Bruce Forster are out, and allegedly they're picking up the slack now, or maybe overseeing it or something. So to have those guys who were part of the Uncharted 2 team, and then went on to do their own thing with The Last of Us, then now to come back to PS4 Uncharted, maybe it will feel totally different. Maybe, we talked about, me and Colin always have these debates, if Drake's in the game, or how's this going to go, and yada yada. Who knows what that means now that there's this Uncharted thing, and we don't know. It's got no subtitle. We don't know who's in it. Maybe it is.
I mean, there was some speculation that with the direction that the team took with The Last of Us, because Uncharted was sort of stylistically campier, that may be what they're trying to get away from here. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe Uncharted 4 is hardcore, insanely murderous. Like, who knows?
I mean, that's exactly right. It's impossible without being there in the room. We can only speculate, but it could be something as innocuous as that. As like, the direction that game was going was just different, right? Or maybe they wanted it to go in a different direction, and they wanted to make 4 like 1, 2, 3. Like, who knows? Maybe it could be. I said it was bad news, and it's hard to know for sure, but I guess it's just bad news in the sense that Amy was so talented.
Right. Well, you don't want to hear anybody losing their job or leaving the place, or you know what I mean?
Leaving under bad terms, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Little tidbit, I looked her up on Wikipedia to see, I didn't know what she did before Legacy of Kain. That was the first time she came into my awareness. Her first project that she headed up, like herself, was Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
So there's that.
That explains why she's so good at slam dunking.
Sure.